Hi everyone, Linda Murphy again. I'm back for part 2 of how to learn about self-love. I finished off the first part talking about the makeup mirror and saying nice things to your face and all that, and I was also saying how at the end I was really starting to feel a shift going on in my body. I felt like the cells in my body were like, okay, I kind of like these words. It feels good. So I felt like I was on a roll with this. So after the makeup mirror, I decided it was time to go to the full-length mirror. Hey, if I was going to love myself, I had to love the whole package. So I worked hard on loving my face, and now let's see if I can love my body. So I stood in front of a full-view mirror, full-length mirror. And at first, I knew that I had to deal with my hair and the history of my hair. I have curly hair, and sometimes it's frizzy looking, curly looking, or whatever. But back in 2nd grade, I had this girl, Ginger. She came up to me and she goes, Linda, why does your hair look like a Brillo pad? It was an innocent comment that little Ginger said to me. And in my young years, like, a Brillo pad, that's not a really nice thing. Why would she say that? So with those words, I took that in to be my truth. If Ginger said my hair looked like Brillo pad, and Brillo pad isn't nice, therefore my hair doesn't look good, so my hair's yucky. I honestly lived with that horrible feeling about my hair for decades, and I hated everything to do with my hair. I hated the curls, I hated humidity, I hated anything. I worked endlessly and tirelessly trying to straighten my hair, trying to do all the things that one does to change the look of my hair. And then, as I said, I had gone through breast cancer, and part of the regimen that you go through is chemo, and I lost my hair. And now I was looking at a bald head, looking at my face in the facial mirror, as I described before, saying these nice things to my face. And now I had to deal with the fact that initially I had no hair. So part of my process in the full view mirror was, look, you have no hair right now. All of your facial features are front and center. It looks beautiful. Every aspect of your face looks beautiful, and you don't even have hair. And the fact that I can actually get to that point after those weeks of saying positive things to myself was so empowering. That I can actually say nice things about myself. I can actually look at myself in the mirror, a full view mirror, and say, wow, Linda, your face looks really good. I can't hide behind my hair because I have no hair. So I'm like, I'm making progress here. So now I have to work on my hair. And yes, I didn't have hair at the time that I started this, but I was like, for all those years that I hated my hair, that I wasn't being very nice to myself. Why would I say such bad things about my hair to my body? So I decided that I was going to start saying positive things about my hair. And my hair was starting to grow back at that point. And it's like, okay, I love my hair. I love my hair. I love my curls. I would admire other people's curls if they had curly hair, but I could not see that beauty in my own hair. So this took a little longer than... a little longer than I would like to, I guess, for it to have happened. But I just kept on saying nice things about my hair. And I also thought most people, after chemo, most people who had straight hair, almost everyone I knew, their straight hair grew in to be curly. And they started really loving their hair because it's such a different texture and different look for them. So I decided initially that, well, my hair's all gone. My hair was curly to begin with. Maybe my hair will come in straight. It didn't. I feel like the universe was giving me a lesson to learn that I had to honestly start loving my curly hair. So I decided to say these nice things to the hair that was very slowly growing in. I had like a buzz cut length at that point. And it took me many days, and I decided that I was going to love my hair no matter how it came in. And it was just part of me and part of my beauty. And my hair grew in curly, and I love my hair. Absolutely love my hair. I mean, this is such a different experience for me to sit with my curly hair and embrace it and realize, aren't I lucky? Because I have curly hair, I can wear it in so many different styles that people with straight hair can't. I never appreciated the beauty and the bounce and the waves and the curls and all that, but now I do. It's part of the whole package of the face, the hair, everything else that I was talking about. So my body was excited about this. This was a real struggle for me to get over that hurdle of loving my hair. And when my body started reacting in a positive way, it's like, oh, this is great. So now I'm in this full-length mirror, and this took me weeks, and I decided that I was going to stand in front of the full-length mirror without clothes. And that's like, seriously? No way would people do this. But I had to, because I was on this mission to learn to love myself, and I have to love the whole package, no matter what it is. So I went through, started with my head and my face, my hair, and that was pretty easy to get through initially because I had done the work already on that with the magnifying mirror, the makeup mirror, and I had worked on my hair and loving my hair, so now it's the body. It's like, oh my gosh. And I have scars all over the place. I have been through a lot of surgeries to do with the breast cancer. Been through so much, so I have like roadmaps on my body. And I guess I felt neutral about the roadmaps, but didn't love them, the roadmaps of my scars. But I said, all right, I just have to embrace all the scars that I have on my body. So I would go down my body, look at my scars, and each one I would spend a few minutes and say, I love that scar. That really helps bring out the beauty of your body. Aren't you lucky that you have that scar? And I did that for a couple of days, working on all the different scars and stuff, until the point that I started feeling my body shift. My body was like, okay, I'm kind of liking these words. So then I went to look at the whole package deal, and I always felt that I was overweight. My whole life I always felt like I was overweight, and I used to get on my case about that. And it's like, why, you're like the biggest elephant in the room, Linda, and this is, I would just be mean to myself. Well, now I'm looking at myself without any clothes on in a full-length mirror, and I have to come to terms with this. And you know what? At this point, I decided I was just going to love what I saw, because I've been working on this for a while, so these words are coming more quickly to me. The words of love were coming to me more quickly towards my body. And not only the words, what happens once you start saying these words of love to yourself, the emotions of love follow those words. Again, words are so powerful. The emotions behind the words are so powerful. It's the emotions that drive the force within our body. So I could feel the emotional love that I was getting out of all these words that I was saying in the positive light. And I was able to go my whole body from neck all the way down, and eventually start saying positive and powerful words. And I did this for many, many days, and it felt so good. I had never, ever been at a point that I could step back and be as in love with myself as I was after all of those words that I said to myself, and my body started to react to it. It felt so good. So now my goal was I was teaching myself how to love my body through my self-love words. Now I had to sustain it. I realized how quickly it was to go backwards into that negative reel that was going on in my head, the negative words. And I would have to be very, very aware of that. That was a challenge for me. It took me months to say, okay, where's your head going? What's going on? Change your thought process. And sometimes what I would have to do, this is a crazy technique, but it works for me. If I was in that negative realm, I would do some kind of sudden big noise. I would just do something to snap me out of it. What kind of noise? I might go, oh, and it snaps me out of it. And then I start saying positive words to myself. And I just kept on saying positive and positive and positive words. It was through that constant repetition of the powerfulness of the words that my body would start reacting in a positive way. And again, remember that emotions following these words are driving basically your whole body, and how you're feeling about your body, and how your body reacts, how your body stays in health. It's the emotions behind your powerful words. So it took me, again, months to get that negative tape in my head, that negative reel, I had to visualize cutting up that negative reel that I had in my head. Cut it up, and I had to recreate a whole new series of positive talk. And it's become very easy for me. If I ever find myself going down that pathway of negativity, I very quickly, boom, I'll change it right away. And I spend a tremendous amount of time every day, probably more subconsciously or unconsciously now than conscious, of just saying positive words to my body, because I deserve it. I am worthy of my self-love. I'm worthy of all these positive things that I'm saying about myself. And it shows. I radiate a tremendous amount of light. I radiate empowerment. I radiate love from inside me to the outer world. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't start with a baseline of loving myself. So that's kind of how I went through the whole process of learning to love myself. And just to wrap up the story about my cancer, I have been cancer-free for over 20 some odd years. I've worked on it, as I've told you, and there's times that I've caught myself going down the rabbit hole, and I could tell that my body was going to not good places of health, and I had to work on that. And it was by me changing my thought process and putting those positive emotions behind my positive words, I was able to get myself out of that rabbit hole and move forward. So I have been cancer-free, and I continue to be cancer-free because that's my choice. It's what I've done to work on things to get me to that point. So thank you for listening. Stay tuned, and catch you later.